Hello, everyone. Hang on. Okay, I think I have the audio working.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
Fair warning, I forgot to change the overlay. Holly is not Holly Crossing anymore, so that's on me. I have the correct command. I have the correct command. You guys let me know if you're having any issues hearing Holly. Hopefully that is better today. But how is everyone doing?
Yeah.
How are you doing, Holly?
I'm doing good. I'm just
hanging.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Playing games, having fun. How are you?
Pretty good. I am tired.
Oh, no.
I am tired. You see, everyone's talking about your makeup. You know what? People never compliment me on my makeup.
Oh my god.
So I need you.
Over the top. I'm over the top. I don't need to do this.
It's not though. Like it looks really good. I think part of the problem is I have very, I guess, like hooded eyes. I also am not good at makeup. So,
Okay, but I always think you look really fresh faced though. And that's a really good thing. Whereas I just really cake it on.
Yeah. Well, I've tried to cake it on, but I can never allow myself to put on enough. Gotcha. Like when I've been like in my wedding and when I've been in weddings and I let other people do it, it always looks so nice when it's like really done up, and then I try to do it and I'm like,
it's way too long.
Ugh. Yeah.
Like I start getting ready like 2 hours before I start streaming. Like that's when I start, and then I have like a little bit of time to bumble, but yeah. So you're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have, first off, let's talk about your rebrand. You decided to rebrand since last time.
I did. It's really been that long since it's been a month since the last Breaking Bells, but that's so weird because I was just saying how you forget what it impacts. So yeah, I actually rebranded. I have been Holly Crossing for a year, and obviously in the chat I'm still Holly Crossing, and in some little pockets of the internet I am still that, like even up here.
I know.
But that's totally fine. It's totally fine. I, over the course of the last sort of 3 months, I've shifted a lot of my content on Twitch over to Sims, Stardew, Minecraft, loads and loads of like different but similar kind of games. We've been playing Slime Rancher, and I just started to feel a little bit of an imposter using the last word crossing. So obviously we talk a lot about frogs. Well, there's a frog and a green theme on my channel, and Froggy Holly was taken.
Really?
So we were like, yeah, I know. Who would take that? Who takes that?
Who else is Froggy Holly?
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, Froggy Holly, because frog is also a thing in the community. So yeah, and it's just felt more me. And I did it in peaceful protest when we didn't get an update.
Right.
Animal Crossing. I did it live on stream and it booted me out.
What?
It booted me out of my stream because then Streamlabs was like, I don't recognize
that is hilarious
who this is, and then I had to restart it like, hi everyone. But yeah, it's definitely been, I definitely needed to do it.
Right. I didn't know. Wait, so you've only been Holly Crossing for a year?
Yeah, before that I've been named many different things, but I was Holly between like 2015 to 2017. Then I took a break from YouTube and streaming, and then and I came back last year as Holly Crossing because everyone put crossing on the end of their name. So I was like, my name's Holly, I like Animal Crossing, and
Holly Crossing done.
Holly Crossing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think it's good. I think playing other games is good. I know not everyone sees it that way, but I've been enjoying playing other stuff.
And your Monster Hunter video was so cute as well.
I loved playing it, and I've done a few I've done one Sims stream, and I've done a few Sims videos.
Yeah.
As well, and I'm excited for that new pack to come out. So everyone's just branching out, and that I think that's a good thing.
A good thing to it's a good thing to mention actually, because there are a couple of like bigger names in the space. I'm thinking like Ryan, and I'm sure there's a couple of others as well, but I can't remember their names. And they've sort of said like, hey, look, we're not going to be playing as much Animal Crossing now, and it's been nice as someone that's kind of branched out a little bit, seeing other creators do it as well. And it's really important to it's really important to give yourself some variety, because otherwise you get burnt out.
Well, so you've been playing New Leaf.
I have.
How has that been? Going back to it, how has it been?
It's amazing.
Is it?
It is honestly, I think it has to be my favorite Animal Crossing game. It's so good. It's just one of those things where like you don't have to worry about villager hunts, you don't have to worry about decorating, you can't really do much in terms of like what we can do in New Horizons, but you can just do so many fun things, and like your villagers challenge you to do things, and you've got like the RV park and a campsite, and villagers will ask you to they'll ask you to like build things in the town, and then you've got to somehow make up the money to place it, and oh my gosh, it's so good.
And you can't just go to a treasure island and get the money. You have to actually get it.
No, I'm sure there is. I know that Bobby, he mentioned there was a little bit of a shady side to New Leaf, but I never really delved into that, because like, I don't know, I guess I didn't feel like it wasn't like dangled in front of my face at all.
Right.
Whereas the treasure islands, it's like, you know, they're everywhere.
I think that's the hardest part to me about potentially going back. It's gonna sound awful, and like even the thought of a future game.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Yeah.
How will I ever survive?
Yeah, I know, and it's just been really, really fun, honestly. And it's also been nice for the community who didn't get a chance to play New Leaf to see how it plays and like what you can and can't do. Because a lot of the time when I was streaming New Horizons, I'd say there's three main things. There's villager hunting, dream address visiting, and or like island tours, like same thing.
Decorating.
And decorating. But like I sometimes struggle to do any of those, because villager hunting is a rinse and repeat. Ugh. It's so repetitive. Like I used to do long stints back in the day, but now I'm like 30 tickets in and I'm done. Like don't ask. I don't want to keep going. Decorating streams I find really tough, because there's a lot to focus on and I have to draw a lot of like creative energy to do it. And then dream addresses are just more chilled out, but then I'm like, I will never be able to achieve this.
What?
Like I will never be able to do this, and I want to do this, and then you know, and I often just like forget like what, like, and then you've got people that are like visit me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. Like it takes me ages to get around one. So it's nice to not have that. It's nice to just be like, I need to try and make some bells somehow, and just try and
let me go catch some bugs or
whatever. Let me, like, the only thing I can really do is go to the like Tortimer's Island and just catch some bugs and just hope they sell for a lot.
Right. Yeah, I think recently I've been, obviously most of mine are design streams.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do more visiting island streams. We actually did a dream address one the other day. That went a lot more smoothly than the dodo code visiting. But I think doing more of that will help me, honestly, because recently it's very hard to like force design, and that's why I tell people, like, if you're struggling with something, just leave it and move on, because like I'll start something and I'm just like, I can't, if I'm not inspired 100% to do it, It's so hard to force it.
It's so hard. Honestly, there's been so many streams of New Horizons where, and I'm pretty sure anyone here that's watched my streams will be able to vouch for me, but I'm like, I'm going to build this. And I just can't quite, I can't quite draw enough energy to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I've lost it. It's gone.
Right.
The image is gone.
Right.
So it is difficult.
That's also why I like, so on my first island, Nedia, I'm currently still flattening it. It's kind of in the process, but I just changed it to like my inspiration island. So it's just like whatever I want to build at the time, I'm just building it. So like if I want to build, like yesterday I was building a Hobbit inspired entrance, and that's what I built, and once it's done I'll probably just destroy it and I will move on to the next thing.
You'll do something else.
If I want to build a tropical campsite one day, then that's what I'll build, because it's so hard. Like once you get to the middle or towards the end of an island, it's so hard to just continue. So with my Frog Island, right, it is the closest to being finished it has ever been. You know, I've said it multiple times, but I just haven't really played it that much. That's your swamp one, right?
Yeah, that's my swamp one. And it's the top right-hand corner. It's probably about 1/6 of the map, but I have lost it. Like the creative flow for that island has kind of run out.
You just need to fill it with some bamboo trees and call it done.
I know. I just need to shove a bunch of trees there. And I keep thinking, maybe I'll just do a little bit of waterscaping, some waterfalls, some trees, make it like a little, like, not necessarily like a transition area, but just a pretty area to walk past. And it's like, but even that is so, gosh.
Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like I've done what I can on that island and now I'm stuck.
Right. I think, I don't know. I want to try New Leaf again. I'm just hesitant. I think you would love it. It completely changes your perspective on Animal Crossing as a whole, because when I picked up New Leaf again, I was like, wait, this is how it's supposed to be. Right.
Like, we're not supposed to be going to Treasure Islands. Like, I do it, so I'm not like trying to say like you shouldn't do it, but
and that's what plays into everyone's frustration of not having updates, is that we've sped through a game that wasn't intended to be sped through. And I agree. I've done it too, and I'm totally fine with it because I enjoy the decorating aspect of it. But that's why I tried to reel myself back in and understand that that's what I did. And so I can't expect Nintendo to release these updates every month that are just, it's just unrealistic. The game has only been out a little over a year.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to do like a complete rehaul of the game after a year.
It's one of those things where it's really kind of perpetuated by us as players and the pandemic and everything, because we've played probably 3 years worth of stuff in the space of a year. And also I love Treasure Islands. They're amazing, especially for decorating, but they're really hard to wean yourself off of, quite frankly. They're really, really hard to just be like, nah, I'm not going to bother.
Right.
And it's made it a lot harder because I remember at the start of the game, I was really, really, really trying to grind for Nook Miles. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, but I can buy 200 on eBay and they'll come and drop it off. As seedy as that is, they'll come and drop it off. And then, but like that was, so New Leaf has been one of those things where I just think, this is how I'm supposed to play it. This is why I enjoy Animal Crossing, not for villager hunting and spending hours looking for one villager. Like, I'm enjoying just it being as it is,
right? You
know, without all the extra like bits that.
How do you get all of the items though? Because don't you have to? Is it the same where you have to trade to get different items, or they just come available to you?
They're just available. Do you mean like when you have like variations of color and things in the shop?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just like it's just you can get any color.
Because in New Horizons, you don't get access to every color, so you're forced to trade with people
Yeah, you kind of have to, like, as much as it's a solo sort of game that can be played, like, it's forced to be a multiplayer game, because in New Horizons, right, you can't
even get all the fruit.
Yeah, exactly. So in New Leaf, if you send, I don't know, say if I send a villager an apple, there's a chance they'll send me back an orange, and then if I send that orange to another villager, they might send me a pear back. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like you can do it all by yourself, whereas in New Horizons, I guess they really want you to do the whole multiplayer thing, and they make it kind of hard to not play multiplayer by having like restrictions on items and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
See, I didn't play New Leaf after I stopped playing before the Welcome Amiibo.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah.
I already stopped playing. So that is kind of tempting to me, because I would like to see all the things that they added for that. I don't even think I knew that was a thing. I think I assumed that was an entirely different game.
It looks like a different game. Like the logo is it's not completely different, but it's got like a big banner at the bottom, it looks like it could be a different game, but
I think I almost assumed it was like Happy Home Designer.
Yeah.
In that way,
exactly.
I don't know.
No, it's an interesting game, and you have to just think a bit more. And the Welcome Amiibo was really, really, really good. It was a really good update because it just added in so much stuff, and all the Amiibo things and the RV park, and you get all these special coupons, and you can get the wildest. Like, do you know what I got the other day? I got an egg in a frying pan, and you would you can get a frying pan in New Horizons, but it was just an egg in a frying pan. And I also got a sushi platter. I got some like donuts. Like, there's so many. Cute. And I got like a cake stand, like with actual cakes in it.
Right.
Whereas like in New Horizons, we have to like make designs on hats to make them look like a stack of pancakes.
Now, are you designing your island? Are you putting down custom patterns like people used to do, or?
I haven't yet, but actually back in the day I didn't do anyway, because it kind of looked a little bit janky.
Yeah, I never did it either. It was so
blocky,
right.
So I never really did it. Although I remember years and years and years ago on Wild World for the DS, I put down this bright green pattern over every single tile in my town to make it look like grass, but it was so bright. It was like green screen bright. And then I was like, I hate it. And I had to get rid of all of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm kind of scared to do it again.
The custom designs, I remember seeing other people using them, and I would see these amazing islands, or towns, I guess, in New Leaf. And it would look great when other people would do it. Some of them would still look off, but some people could really pull it off. Yeah. And then I would try to put some down, and I was just like, I can't do this.
Doesn't look right.
This doesn't look right. And then I just gave up on it.
Yeah.
And now it's like all I do is put down custom patterns everywhere.
Yeah. I think because they've got like the transparency part of it, whereas in New Leaf you just had like a square.
Right.
Like you didn't get the whole transparent thing. Unless maybe, I know some people modded it to maybe be a bit more like that, but people used to mod the hell out of New Leaf.
Right.
Probably more than what they do in New Horizons. Wow. They put all sorts everywhere.
I don't get it.
I don't either. I'm not brainy enough.
I can't do it. Yeah. Okay. So also, since last time, they announced the new Switch.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch. So if anyone is watching and you haven't seen, Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch OLED model is what it's called. So a new fancy LED screen. They added, it's bigger, so the Switch isn't bigger. I think it's longer a little bit.
It seems chunkier. It seems much chunkier, but I think it might be...
It still fits the Joy-Con. I think it's the same size. There's a smaller bezel. So the screen itself is larger.
Yeah.
And then it has an Ethernet port in the back.
Yeah.
Of the dock. Was that it?
I think so. Yeah, I think.
And I say all that. Let me preface by saying I still want to get one. Okay. I know you don't.
Yeah. I don't have a use for one. That's my kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like maybe. I don't know. You're using your Switch a lot all the time.
I have 3.
Whereas like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you need a 4th, but
I'll trade one in to get it. Is the thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's different. That's cool. That's cool.
So what kind of upgrade would it need for you to buy it?
It would need to be more powerful, like significantly more powerful, like as in I'm walking around an island with lots of items on it, and nothing has to like lag and spawn in. It's all just there. You know, I can walk around as much as I want, and if there's items stacked so high, it doesn't have to load in. It's just there.
Right.
I just think it needs, for me, it just needed to be more powerful, and it needed to be something that benefit those that play it docked all of the time.
Right.
Because I feel like the upgrades, they're only really for, I feel like they're just for handheld, you know?
They really are.
Because the thing is that the LAN port at the back, just hear me out, right? But I don't really see myself playing like heavy online games that need a really, really, really stable internet connection on my Switch.
Right.
Because I use my computer for that.
And the online isn't good. And
the online also isn't very good. And oh my gosh, Toast said, I want to know what you guys think Bobby's reaction to the OLED would have been. He would have bought about 10 of them, that's for sure.
He would have bought it.
He would have bought it, but he probably would have had a video out where he trashes it.
Yeah. I think, well, did you see, I can't remember who posted it on Twitter, but he actually kind of in a way predicted it. On a Cup of Joe and Nintendo with him and Sean, he basically said they're gonna have to put out what they're gonna do is they're gonna put out new iterations. He said every year.
Oh, okay, like with the DS, I guess.
Of the Switch, kind of like the DS, yeah. And so I don't know if he really would have trashed it. I mean, maybe like humorous, like he would have just been funny about it, but I think he actually would have liked it.
I think maybe after...
And then I could have sent him those Kirby... I could have sent him the Kirby...
thingies.
Thumb covers or whatever they are.
Yeah. Thumb grips, whatever they are. Yeah.
I wish they would have added Bluetooth.
Oh my gosh, why did they not do that?
That's like the simplest thing to add, so I just don't get it.
That's such a small thing to add as well. That would have made things so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah. I feel like, so for me, like with my Switch, I guess my Switches, but I'm not really playing both of them at the minute. I guess for me, it's mainly I just wanted it to be more powerful, you know, and I kind of wish, and I know it doesn't work like this, but if I was to delegate where the money got spent, it would be, let's not think about the next iteration of a Switch. Let's just focus on the multiplayer support and make things server based and stuff like that, because there's so many problems with that side at the minute. So it's kind of, but that's if I've got a pot of money that they have and I'm saying, what do we spend it on? Obviously I know those things can coexist, but I was disappointed. Like, I was happy that it was real. I was like, oh, it is real, but it's not the Switch Pro.
Right.
It's the Switch XL. Like, that's what it is.
Well, let me ask you this. When do you think the Switch Pro, for lack of a better term, is coming? Because you know it's coming.
They have to release it.
Yeah.
I think the second half of next year.
You think with Zelda?
Or maybe
with Zelda?
Yeah, I think with Zelda, just because, like, even so, I had Breath of the Wild on the Wii, and then I had it on the Switch. but on the Wii U, I mean. And that was a little bit stuttery. Now on the Switch, obviously it was, much better, but it wouldn't surprise me if they timed it to be with the new Zelda, because I feel like it would play the best.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't Breath of the Wild doesn't really lag for me on my Switch. But I feel like it would make sense, and I think it would incentivize, because the first Switch came out with Breath of the Wild. Like, that was a launch title. So I feel like that makes sense for them to do that as well.
And Breath of the Wild has sold better than Mario Odyssey, so...
I bought both of them as well.
Mm-hmm. I could also see it releasing with Mario Kart 9. Because that's coming too.
I feel like you kind of laughed a little bit as you said that. You were like, Mario Kart 9?
I mean, they have to release another Mario Kart.
The next Mario Kart, honestly. I would love that so much.
It's been too long.
And I don't think there's enough tracks. I know that sounds bad, but I don't think there's enough tracks. And I've got the DLC and all of that kind of fun stuff.
And they just need to make it they need to make Mario Kart like Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Where they continue to support it. They continue to add characters, and they build up all this hype. Mm-hmm. Because the people who are into Smash Brothers, they get so much stuff.
Yeah, honestly, Smash, they
literally
get stuff all the time.
Every direct.
Yeah.
You're gonna get something.
And there's so
for
many
Smash.
packs. There are so many. Like, when you go on the Smash Bros. eShop bit, oh my gosh, the amount of DLC and the amount of that is consistently updated,
right?
Which is nice. I think I think that would be good. So maybe launch titles Mario Kart 9 and Breath of the Wild 2.
We're saying it now. Mario Kart 9 and Breath of the Wild 2.
And I want both of them. I think that would be good.
Oh my goodness. That would be, I would love that.
Wishful thinking. But that's what we do here.
And
we
Splatoon 3.
Think. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
At the same time. Yeah.
That would make sense, I feel. And I wonder if Mario Kart, they would do the thing where, kind of like so when Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii, it was then that plus DLC, and then with Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, they included it. It was included already. So I wonder if they would do that with Mario Kart 9? I don't know. Watch it come out in 3 years.
Yeah.
We're saying this now, but it's hard to say. Nintendo, I find, are the most unpredictable company out of all of them.
They really are.
You just never know what they're going to say. And when you think they're going to say something, they don't say anything.
Yeah. Well,
and vice versa.
I do think, so me and Sean touched on this a little bit on the Nintendo Drive. Mm-hmm. And I think the Switch is here to stay for an extended period of time, because I asked him, Nintendo is kind of known for reinventing consoles. You went from the N64 to the GameCube to the Wii to the Wii U to the Switch.
Yeah.
It's never the same thing, whereas Xbox and PlayStation are just upgrading what's inside.
It's always the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS... Right. Yeah, for sure. That's a good point, actually. They always look sort of similar. They've always got similar sort of statue, I guess.
Right. But I think the Switch, they almost, for better or for worse, the Switch is here to stay, because by combining their handheld with their console, they kind of...
Yeah. They've sort of ticked all their boxes that they usually tick.
They kind of pigeonholed themselves into the Switch, which I am totally okay with, because I love the Switch.
I'm fine with that, and the Switch is a good console. There's no, it's not like when the Wii U came out and it sort of looked like a Wish version of the Switch, and I loved the Wii U. I honestly loved it.
A Wish version?
But when you look at them side by side, it's that looks like the Wish version.
It's like a toy, a plastic toy.
A plastic one. Even though I loved the Wii U, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favourite consoles ever. And
really?
When I traded it in, I sobbed. I really cried. Yeah, I cried and cried, because I wanted to get some pre-orders for the Switch when it was coming out. And I watched them format it, and I watched them do all that in the shop and make sure it was fine, and it was stressful for me. I really cried in the shop. But it's kind of, I think they might do that thing they do with the DS's where you get like the DS and then the DSi and then the DSi2 and then I don't even know what it is now. Oh, the DS Lite and then this the 3DS and then the 2DS and then the I just don't want them to go through a 3D stage again. That was not good for anyone. That I didn't like that. I didn't really use it, to be honest.
I never turned on the 3D.
It was really like sicky. Like it made me feel sick a lot of the time. And because I have the original 3DS XL, it had a sweet spot, you know, whereas I know with the later ones you could just see it from any angle, but like I had to hold it like this. And I'm not gonna do that.
That's not comfortable.
It's not.
So where do you guys trade in consoles? I always trade mine in at GameStop. I don't know, GameStop, EB Games. Where do you go?
In the UK there's quite a few. I'm sure not the US. There's quite a few places you can do it, but we have a game shop here called Game. That's it. So it's called Game. We also have things like CEX, which they handle a lot of consoles and a lot of like different techie things. It's not just like game stuff. That's where we usually trade stuff in.
Okay.
For either like store credit or like actual cash, but usually it's better to get the store credit.
Now, when do you think the next Animal Crossing update will be?
Oh God. Do you know what?
I think it's going to be not next week, but the next.
Oh, really? You think it's going to be kind of soon?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be some huge update. They've got to talk about what's coming. They have to talk about the fireworks in August. So it's going to be this month. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to release a video. They're just they could do what they did for the biggest update they've had, which was the Sanrio stuff, where they just kind of dropped a little blog post. But they
it was like that, wasn't it?
They have to announce what's coming for August, so it's got to be this month.
Do you know what? 6 months ago, if you had asked me that question, I would have been like, oh yeah, it'll probably be this, but like I just don't know nowadays, honestly, and I don't even know what to think anymore, because we always, and then don't get me started on all the people that run with all of this information that people put out. Oh my gosh, this person's been leaked and this NPC's been leaked, and like there's a lot of that on the internet, and I just try and stay away from it because I get excited and I read into things that I shouldn't read into, and then it doesn't happen, and then
and then everyone's upset.
And it's not very nice. So I kind of just, I'm rolling with the punches a little bit now when it comes to Animal Crossing. I won't be surprised if they update it. I won't be surprised if they don't update it.
Now, would an update be enough to bring you back?
It would need to be a serious overhaul. It would need to be an overhaul of some quality of life things, which in all fairness, they have over the last year added in, you know, even things like custom design slots and but even just things like buying, even just things like buying multiple things from Abel's, it's stuff like that, or hopping from island to island without having to go back and forth each time. Like it would need to be like serious, fundamental things that make me think, if I go back and play it now, it's going to be a better experience for me. I don't want it to be the same experience, but I don't know. It would need to be something that makes it a lot easier to do some of the things that we want to do in game. Even for example, I know this isn't going to happen, but even with things like terraforming, don't make me do each block at a time. Let me stamp
that would be nice.
Terrain.
Yeah.
Give me like a couple of shapes and I can stamp out a square, and then it makes a cliff or it makes a pond, or you know, I'm thinking like Roller Coaster Tycoon here. That was a big thing, like the stamping tool. Apart from that, though, it needs to be like fundamental things, not like adding in a couple of extra furniture items.
But what if they added in like 5 full furniture sets?
Oh, okay.
Like large sets of furniture.
Yeah, I think it would definitely make me intrigued. I'd be like, oh, okay.
And they added customization of fencing and other existing items.
Ooh, okay, yeah. See, again, that's like, I feel like that's quality of life, you know. I feel true. If it was like one furniture set, I'd be like, oh, you know, what the heck. But if it was like, we're going to add in a bunch of furniture sets that you can fully customize, you'll also be able to customize some of the Nook Miles items, I think it would make it easier, I think. You know, I'm at a point where I really just want them to do paid DLC. Same. I think this is the only way we're going to get like full financial support. Like, we're going to get full attention if it's paid DLC. And I can't speak for every single DLC out there, because we know, like with games, sometimes DLC is rubbish. Like, sometimes it's really bad. Yeah. But I feel like Nintendo, they know how to make money. You see it with Smash. They add in characters that people want to play. People buy them. Yeah. You know, I just feel like at this point we need like heavy resources, and with heavy resources comes financial implications. Like, just let me pay. Just take it, but just give me what I want. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and then we'll kind of move on to some questions. And I have a not so popular opinion on this. So
controversial.
I feel like we've kind of touched on this, but I just want to know, now that you're not really playing anymore, do you feel like, this is kind of a multifaceted question. Number one, do you feel like you got your money's worth? You paid I paid $60 US, you paid whatever, however many pounds. Do you feel like you got your money's worth? Is it fair that people are comparing New Horizons to New Leaf constantly, and what existed in New Leaf? They are not, and I'll kind of go into, number one, I think I did get my money's worth. I've spent 1,500 plus hours in a game that I paid $60 for. Sometimes I pay $60 and I spend 5 hours in a game. So I've gotten my money's worth times infinity, because I've spent so much time. But also, I don't always think it's fair, the comparisons that people make, saying, and I feel like you and Bobby felt this way, that it wasn't a complete game because it didn't have everything that New Leaf had. But my rebuttal to that is, it's not different. New Leaf.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They added different things that to make it a different game. So does that really mean that it's not a complete game just because it's not New Leaf?
Those are good questions. Okay, first of all, I absolutely got my money's worth. I, across 2 Switches, have over 3,000 hours. Right. Like, I have paid the same amount, like, for a game, and I have only played it for 50 hours and been happy with it. Like, genuinely. When you look at, okay, I'll give you an example. So, Iggy, who's my boyfriend, for anyone that's like, who's that? He bought Resident Evil, the most recent one, with the really tall lady, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, that cost a chunk of money, okay? It's like a big game, you know? It's one of the things that people wait for. And that was what, like £50, 40, 60, okay. The playthrough was like 12 hours. 10 hours. Mm-hmm. Like, and people are fine with that. And I think that I would be happy if I had only played Animal Crossing for 300 hours and spent that money, genuinely. Like, it is a fun game, you know? It's a fun game, and I think for me it would be hard to say, like, no, I didn't get my money's worth when I've spent all that time, and I bought a second Switch, or we got a second Switch just to play it even more, right. And I bought another copy of the game. Your second question, okay, this is a really hard one for me because I'm in 2 minds. So, oh gosh, okay. So first of all, I don't think it's fair always to compare games to their predecessors. I don't always think it's fair, because sometimes games are just different, and sometimes there needs to be a change in the flow of things, and, you know, maybe this one will be the start of a sort of different type of Animal Crossing game. So I feel like I can't criticize it on that. But at the same time, it's kind of like every single Animal Crossing has been or has tried to be, slightly better than the last. And out of all the Animal Crossing games, I feel like New Leaf hit every single box. It ticked every single box. So with the knowledge that Nintendo have over Animal Crossing New Leaf, and the amazing reviews and the amazing sales and the consistent fan base, you would think that they would implement some of those things into New Horizons.
And you're convinced that stuff's not coming later?
I think they would have done it already. That's my thoughts, because I feel like they just would have, like, this whole Brewster thing, like the elusive Brewster.
The Brewster thing is too much.
Yeah, like, there's been so many opportunities where I've thought, if you do this now, you will tick the boxes that need to be ticked. You know, I mean, the one thing that I remember very distinctly was when we got the summer update and there was diving. That was a big thing, but that wasn't just a big thing because, oh yeah, we can swim. It was a big thing because it was a sign that they knew what we wanted, that they knew they needed to fill in the gaps so that the old games could kind of be brought across. Mm-hmm. But it's a hard one, because I also think that maybe this is just a new direction that they're going in with Animal Crossing. Like, maybe I can't see a game like New Leaf ever being released for, like, in the Animal Crossing franchise again. I can't imagine you being stuck on a town where you can't terraform, where you can't. I don't think it would work anymore, because they've now added this.
Right.
But I just crave so many of the things from, like, New Leaf, and I can't help it. Like, even the other day, a few weeks ago, it was summer solstice in New Leaf, right? And it wasn't just you get like a little item from the ABD. There was a cute little stand, like two little cutout stands, and all your villagers talk about it, and it was just different. Like, the charm was there. For me, I guess at this point, I think they're two different games. They are, and I think I've wrongfully compared them in certain ways in the past, because I've been, like, bitter that they haven't done certain things, when I think nowadays I've just accepted that it's just a different installment in the Animal Crossing franchise, you know?
Right. Well, do you think some of that charm is... Why do you think some of that charm is gone? Because the stuff I've seen, it's been so long since I've played New Leaf, but like, some of the interactions that I see with villagers, specifically, like the cranky villagers, they really are harsh. And do you think some of that is gone because people would be up in arms about it nowadays?
Yeah, I do.
It's a different time. Like, do you think they had to edit that out? Because
I think, okay, so a little while ago, I played some of the GameCube version, right? And that was too much. Like, the GameCube one left me quite speechless sometimes. You know, like, one of my villagers called me a bloated idiot. Like, you just not, like, called me like an annoying brat. Like, honestly, right. they called you so many things, and in New Leaf, it's kind of like a combination of they're cranky with you and they kind of belittle you a little bit. But they also had the really nice side, and then so being best friends meant a lot more then, because you had to kind of win them over. New Horizons, I hate the dialogue. Honestly, I really, really do. Like, the villagers, I don't talk to them for a reason. I really don't.
Yeah. I guess I just wish that, and I know this would be so much work, because I would rather there be fewer options for villagers and more dialogue of the ones that were in there. Yeah. It's just, if you have 3 Peppies on your island, you're getting the same dialogue every single time. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, I'm the same. And also in the previous games, they had hobbies, and they could actually catch things, and they were just way more, the AI was better, I feel. You know, it was kind of like, and even just, you know, I'll be walking along in New Leaf, strutting my stuff, and then one of my villagers comes up to me and is like, hey, do you want to come over to my house?
Right.
Or can I come to yours? And then they'd like mooch around your place for a bit. They'd tell you what they liked, and then they'd go.
Well, did you see? I don't know where I saw this. It was on YouTube. I can't remember who it was though. That whole dialogue exists in the game. The dialogue for them to like come over into your house and all that stuff. It exists. Like someone found it, and I think you have to have like a modded Switch to get it to happen.
Oh,
like,
I see. Okay.
It won't happen in a regular version.
In a regular thing.
But that dialogue does exist in the game for someone to come over. So I don't know why that's something that got edited out.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that I think, I just wish, like, I love Blue Bear, okay? Blue Bear's always been one of my favourite villagers because she was one of the first dreamies I had in the whole Animal Crossing franchise, like Wild World and everything. I remember getting Blue Bear and being like, oh my gosh, you know, like what a cutie. And I thought she was a boy until last year. I had no idea, but she's just such a cutie. And then New Horizons, and I managed to find her on one of my first ever villager hunts, and oh my gosh, I yeeted her off my island so quick because I was like,
is she peppy?
Ooh, honestly, they hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Like I find them really difficult to, they're kind of overstimulating in a way.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, and it's like, I'm one of those people, so when I'm faced with something like that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's too much, and I can recognize it straight away. So I would like there to be individual dialogue. Same. More individual dialogue, because they do it in New Leaf all the time.
Well, and then your opinions of villagers would be more, I feel like now our opinions on villagers are kind of based on looks or isolated incidents. Like, I can't stand Toby because he wouldn't get out of my picture I was trying to take.
Yeah,
and so I spent like 30 minutes trying to take this picture, and I was like, that's it, you're off the island.
Like you're going.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. But it's not that I'm having these amazing interactions with people. Like, I really like Hazel's personality, but I think I would like any sisterly personality because
like
I just
you
like sisterlies.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like I say, you know, I love Kiki, but it's like, but do I like Kiki or do I just like normals?
Right.
Like, because they all have the same dialogue.
Yes.
But in New Leaf, it's very different. It's very, very, very different actually, because they will actively talk to you about things. And, you know, the other day, and I've got some kind of ugly villagers on my island, or my town even, but I don't care because I can't control that. It's out of my hands unless I do all the plot resetting, which I'm not going to do. But it's kind of like, I've got Caesar. I really don't like the guy, but in game he's tolerable because he's interesting to talk to. You know, I deal with him.
I think I would like that actually. I mean, now I usually pick my villagers based on the aesthetic of their house.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
For designing, but I feel like I would really like not having control over who's coming in and out.
Yeah, like you would just, you know, it's just different because it's like, oh, I wonder who's moved in, and you don't have to think about whether, oh, how quickly can I boot them out? It's just, oh, okay. Like Eugene moved into my town the other day. If that happened in New Horizons, I'd be fuming. But because it's happened in New Leaf, I'm like, oh, he's cool, whatever. Right. Because he's got a different personality, you know. They don't all just say the same thing. And he was like, hey, can you tell me how my shirt looks? And I could say, like, there was like a slider, cute. And it was like either like, yeah, it looks amazing, or like, oh no, take it off, and you can put it in the middle or sort of part way. And I told him it looked good, and he was happy about that.
That's really cute.
You don't get that in
New
Horizons, you know. It was just nice. I was like, oh, you're cool.
But in New Horizons, you get there's just different. You get the terraforming and designing outside. Exactly. You get villager hunting. It's just different, and that's
and that's the thing.
That's what I'm just like. If you prefer New Leaf,
go your heart out.
New Leaf exists. And that's great.
And it still looks.
And no one's telling you not to go play it. I guess that's my. That is my rebuttal for. I obviously love New Horizons. I'm very passionate about New Horizons.
Of course.
Just like anything, I have my things that I don't like about it, but that's any game. And
it's the same for everything. It's just. Yeah, I guess it's just. That's the thing. It's like if you want a more disciplined playthrough, then. Or you want less control over certain things, New Leaf is perfect for that. And it's held up very well, you know. It still looks good. Like, I'm playing it on an emulator, and you can upscale it to look like it came out yesterday. Really nice, it looks really, really good. But even if you don't do that, it still looks pretty good, you know. It still runs really nicely. And if you want a more disciplined approach, then maybe New Leaf is, or you want something different than that. But then if you want all the designing and customization, and then, oh my gosh, New Horizons is perfect. I guess over the course of the year, I've learned that they're just two very different games.
Yes.
And it's not like they've given us Amiibo Festival. They've given us Animal Crossing New Horizons. Like, and I think it's going to set the tone for future Animal Crossing games. I think it will always be in this style. I think with the next one, gosh, I can't even imagine there being another Animal Crossing because it still feels so new. But like, just think one day we're going to look back at this
like
and be
7 years or something between.
Yeah. Well, I think New Leaf came out in I feel like 2011 or 2013. I can't remember. I'm not sure.
It's a long time, yeah.
It's been a long time regardless, and it's
gonna go like that though. Like, we're gonna wake up and we're gonna be like, how did...
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be in my 40s like, oh, the new Animal Crossing game is coming out.
Animal Crossing?
Time to load back up the old YouTubes and get on.
Oh my gosh, dust off the Switch. Yeah, and I think I've come to terms with the fact that was just a different era of Animal Crossing, you know. And I think with the next Animal Crossing, then they will take stuff from New Horizons and they'll like build on it, but I don't know. They are separate, and it's okay, they're separate, and they can coexist.
They can coexist, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, let's see if anyone... We'll keep chatting, but if anyone has any questions... I told everyone, any questions about Animal Crossing, any questions about, like, content creation or whatever. I've been getting a lot of those questions as well recently, so just whatever kind of questions, I can answer some of those, but... I still am not convinced that a big update isn't coming. It may be a year in the future. It may be... I mean, new Amiibo, whatever. Welcome Amiibo came out years after New Leaf.
Yeah, it was... I think Welcome Amiibo was
4 years after.
2016. I think it was 2016. I think. So that would be 5 years. Like, can you imagine that? You're just playing a game... doing whatever, and all of a sudden, bam, they just add in a bunch of stuff. And then again, that's tied in with all the Amiibo things, and I don't think we're gonna get like another Amiibo type, I guess, but who knows? Who knows?
Right.
I don't know.
Can you reassure us that you two aren't quitting anytime soon? I'm definitely not quitting.
I'm not. No, quitting. YouTube for me is like, but for me, like, YouTube isn't my forte, and it hasn't been for months now, but like streaming, I can't imagine myself not streaming. Like, it's in my DNA now, so you know.
When are we getting the Holly, Kato, and Argo beauty series?
Oh my god.
Argo says he's ready. Yeah. Angela asked, I like playing on the TV. Can I get a 3DS and connect to play New Leaf? I don't think you can play it on the TV.
I don't think you can cast it. No, I don't think you can. No, I don't think you can, which is a pain.
Yeah.
I've never even thought of that, actually.
I haven't either.
But I feel like I would have seen it because it's the kind of thing that I like to do.
I mean, you can get it through an emulator and play on your computer.
Yeah, you can get an
emulator. So it'll be a bigger screen that way, but... how do you find a good editing software? I use Wondershare Filmora. I know a lot of people talk about DaVinci Resolve as an option.
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of depends on... if you're just starting out, I would go for I think DaVinci is free.
It is free, yeah.
So I would start out... All of them have, like, the same basic tools. Yeah. And I would say... start out, figure out how to, like, split and trim clips, how to add audio. Those are like the basics of editing, and then from there you can build on that. My editing is not that great.
But it does the job. But you wouldn't. But I would never look at one of your videos and be like, oh, this is edited poorly. But you edit what you need to edit. Right. You're not like adding in like all these flashy like things everywhere. You know, you're just editing it and cutting it and adding music. But we don't tell people that.
Yeah.
I think for me, like I've been playing and streaming and recording YouTube videos since back in the day. So 2008, I started a YouTube channel, and then 2009 I started another YouTube channel where I did like Disney music videos. Like I would download the films illegally, and I would put them into a thing. So I've always used Sony Vegas, okay, but it is expensive. It's like $500. So I obviously didn't pay that.
Holly is the dodgiest person.
I am the dodgiest person, everyone. Truly. You know that advert where they're like, you wouldn't steal a car? Like, I wouldn't, but I would download a very expensive program for free. So I use that, but I would say even things like if you've got a MacBook or any kind of Apple product, even an iPad, iMovie is so good.
Right.
I wish Windows had iMovie. I really, really, really do, because it's so basic, but it's intuitive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's... But I would say like the Wondershare and also DaVinci are probably the most popular free ones, because then you get like Adobe Premiere and Final Cut, and that's like, are you making a film?
Yeah,
that's like for filmmakers, I feel. So
I would love to learn. I would love to be involved with and understand the whole Adobe ecosystem, because there's so much, like Photoshop,
oh my gosh,
Premiere, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and it's all great. I would want to take classes, and I've considered going on Skillshare or something and taking classes like that.
Yeah. I sort of tried to learn, but it was just so tough. Like, it was just so tough. And once you know what you know, and it's sort of the thing of, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah. You know, if you want to do loads of flashy things, then go for it. But if you just want something that will cut and you can put music and you can, you know, put text on it and everything, that's really all you need.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy like all sorts of things.
Basics. And then I make all of my... When I first started, like, all this stuff, I got commissioned, like this little design, and my other stuff I've gotten commissioned. But when I first started, I just made everything myself in Canva. And Canva,
Canva is so good.
Canva is so good. If you are doing any kind of content creation, Canva is the way to go. There is a free version. I pay for the pro version just because I'm extra, and
I use it.
I use it a lot, daily. I use it all the time for everything, to make my overlays, to make my any like graphics where I'm using commission stuff, but I'm like cutting it and pasting it and all that stuff. I use it for everything. All my thumbnails, all that stuff. If I'm ever making, like, you can make Instagram like stories and Instagram posts and
Yeah.
There is so much stuff you can do in Canva.
I need to faff around with it a bit more, really, because I use Pixlr, but it's just like a photo editing, like really basic. But I feel like Canva has a lot of extra elements that I think I could probably do with having a look at.
There's so much. There's so many graphics that you can add. So many fonts already in the software, and then you can always go on thefont.com,
and get different fonts
and get different fonts and all that stuff. So there's that. Canva is great. Not sponsored, but would love to
hashtag
be.
not sponsored.
Someone asked, what characters from Animal Crossing do you want Build-A-Bear to make next? Did you get any of the Build-A-Bears?
Hold on. So this was in the Animal Crossing collection.
Oh, cute.
And it's a little bunny. I bought the bunny slippers as an extra. But it's a little bunny, and it comes with a little Animal Crossing onesie. So that's what I bought, because Tom Nook and Isabel, they look stocky. Like, they look like they would punch me out. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna wait until they release more. And then they released KK Slido, I think.
I do not like the KK.
I don't either.
I don't
really like any of them. But like, if people like them, then totally
go for it.
Go for it. But there are even like independent plushie makers that for the same price could make you one. But yeah, I just got this little one. It's got the cutest little like onesie on as well, and it was half price too. So I was like, I'm gonna take this as Animal Crossing.
Well, do you think, obviously they're gonna continue, I think they're gonna stick with NPCs.
I think they are. I don't think they're gonna do like villagers. I think there's just too many to choose from, whereas with NPCs you get like a lot of favorites. So I think they'll do Reese and Cyrus, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did them with their wedding outfits, because that's like their thing. Yeah. I think they'll do Reese and Cyrus. I don't want that. I think they'll do Blathers and Celeste.
I think they'll do Blathers and Celeste as well.
And apart from that, maybe Able Sisters.
Yeah. But who would you want? I would want, in a dream world, I would have Hazel, but that's never going to happen. So in a more realistic world, I would rather have like Stitches or...
Oh, they should have done Stitches.
Maple, I would love Molly, or any of those like the popular villagers.
Yeah, the popular
imagine
ones.
How many Raymonds they would sell. Or Marshalls.
Gosh, Marshall. I think they'd sell more Marshalls, honestly. I think Marshall and Stitches would be cute. Oh yeah, I got this online though, so you can get cute little plushies like this online.
Yeah.
But they're not like Build-A-Bears, obviously. But I could probably find him a little shirt or something. But so wishful thinking, I would like
Jambet.
I would like maybe some of the frogs, just a couple of them.
I want Tad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Tad.
Tad is my favorite frog.
And I'd like Lily and maybe Kiki, and then obviously like Blathers and Celeste, I would love those, but I feel like they wouldn't do them justice. I just got a feeling in my bones. Yeah.
See, Elena said, I hate they're so stiff, not cuddly at all. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not like cuddling with my plushies very often, so that doesn't bother. My son actually really likes them. He stole them from me. Yeah.
Aww.
And he knows that it's Tom and Isabel is what he calls them. And
that's
it's
so
cute. They're on his bed.
Yeah.
I don't have them anymore. I used to have them, and now. So that was when I was debating purchasing them or not, I had major FOMO about it.
I think I remember you saying.
I had so much FOMO, and I just remember messaging Shannon, and I was like, should I do it? Should I buy them? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And she was like, just buy them. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy them, and then if I regret it, I'll just say they're for my son.
Which has happened.
And he took them anyway, so.
Yeah.
whatever.
I will say that one there in the Animal Crossing collection, so there's also a bear, like a little teddy bear.
Does it come off, squishy. Or it comes like that?
Yeah, it comes off. No, you can either choose them to be dressed or not dressed. So I chose mine to be dressed. But they're squishy. Like those ones, like the bear and the bunny, they're squishy, and they come with the onesie. Like they've got them on. So you don't have to like buy them.
I wonder
separately.
if you're like in the store. Were you in the store or were you online?
No, it was online. I think they might have been online exclusives, maybe. I don't know. But they were also like half the price of the actual ones.
Yeah, Leanna got one because I kept talking about it and I was like sending over the links.
Oh my god. Bad influence.
Let's see. Do I have any other questions? If they can make all kinds of Pokemon plushies, they could definitely do villagers. I agree. I just don't.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Hey, Diana.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any more. There's a lot of talk about the villagers, so let me scroll back up here.
Let's have a look.
Pretty unrelevant question, but will you be making Sims content when the update comes out? That is my plan. That is my plan.
Yeah, I think on stream I'd like to mess around with it a bit as well.
Are you gonna get it, the cottage living?
Yeah, I really want to, because it's one of those packs that like I've kind of been waiting for a little while. Something like that kind of, you know, it's very like British and very.
Do you have a bunch of other packs already?
I have them all.
You have all of them?
I have all of them. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Look at me.
Flexing her Sims packs.
Yeah.
Now, do you have mods too, or you just play with the packs?
I've never used any mods, but probably because I find I've got enough stuff to use. But if I didn't have all the packs, I probably.
But have you? Toffee has me wanting the mods so bad because her stuff is so pretty, and like the way the characters look, I'm just like, I need that.
Yeah, I there's a lot of really cute like custom content, and I definitely think when I load up my game next, I need to have a think about what I'd like to add. I have dabbled in the past with some, and then I got rid of them. I downloaded a pack that ended up just being a bit more like not safe for work than what I thought it would be, and then I was like, oh my gosh, my eyes, so I got rid of it. And it was kind of like a more realistic relationships, but it came with a lot of stuff that I was like, so I was just like, okay. So then apart from that, I haven't actually
That's my only hesitancy with playing it on stream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would probably focus on the decorating on the stream
side,
and not so much, because the gameplay I feel like can get a little bit raunchy. And I just don't know. I don't know. You know, or like things are
sometimes
there's like implied stuff.
Yeah,
and
it'll
I'm just
be
like, okay, let's.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about as well. And it's kind of like, it's not very graphic, but it is one of those things where like when you are like romantically involved with another sim, there are just things that like that happen, like they do in real life, and you don't see anything, but it's still it's the fact that it's an option, I guess. And if you're a younger person maybe playing and you don't want that to be an option, then you might find it a little bit like, well, how do I get very close to this person without, you know, being raunchy?
Well, even just like when I was streaming the other day and it took me like an hour and a half to just build my characters. I was just building, I can't remember what I called them. It was like Katie and Tad or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But even just like, I could feel my face like turning bright red just when they were like in their underwear. And I was like, okay, I don't know.
Oh my god, no way. No
I don't
way,
know
really.
I'm cut out to play this on stream. Oh my gosh, yes. Have you watched any of the Sims creators videos who had early access? Yes, I've watched like someone sent me like the build and buy, and you can see everything that comes in the pack, and oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's next level. I watch the only like simmer I watch religiously is Plumbella. She's like a northern, she's quite her way with words is just amazing. And I kind of relate to her quite a bit, so I really like her videos. I tend to just watch hers, but it definitely looks really good, like really, really, really good.
What animal do you want in Animal Crossing besides the ones that we have? Every time I'm asked this question, I don't have an original thought on this. It's just all I can think about is I wish I had them saved, and I probably do in my camera roll like forever ago, but there were these bat villagers that someone drew. Did you ever see those
the
on Twitter?
Ones. I know the ones. Yeah. And there was like a strawberry patterned one, and I need right now.
I need them. Now.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
My favorite animal, contrary to popular belief,
I
not
found
a frog. I love red pandas. Red pandas are my favorite animal, and there's just not a red panda villager or right. Imagine like proper panda villagers. You know, I know we've got like bears and stuff, but the thing is with red pandas that they're kind of like a cat panda fox hybrid, so I'd like to see some
that
red
would
pandas.
Be here for anyone who doesn't
yes know. Oh my gosh, really there's focusing. A strawberry one, I think.
Yeah, there's a strawberry one right there. There's like a nighttime one. Oh my gosh, they're so
super cute.
Like, would that not be the cute? I would want all of those on my island. That pink one.
Same. I like the strawberry one. That would be cool, but it's kind of hard because some of them, like I saw someone mention like axolotls, and Shrunk is an axolotl, and he's obviously an NPC, and it's kind of like I find they don't repeat NPCs and like villagers, which kind of sucks because it would be cool if they like gave us Tanukis and gave us all of these like why is it just Nook and the twins? Like why don't they just give us, you know?
I need the bats now. I agree.
The bats are the best.
I agree. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions, so I guess we can wrap it up. But yeah, I think by next time we have another Breaking Bells, we'll have an update.
You think?
I think.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I mean, if we don't, what are we gonna talk? Breaking Bells is gonna have to change to like
Breaking
Sims content.
Yeah, I think the way I see it with Animal Crossing, I feel like it's gonna be something that we can talk about for a long time. Like it's because it's not just Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's all the other games. It's comparing and updates, and I think there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
Will just asked, do you still have the Wish fail plushie you got and made a YouTube video on? Where is he?
You have to have him.
Porg.
Yeah, I got I ordered a bunch of stuff from Wish that was Animal Crossing, and I ordered KK Slider, and they sent me like a Wish Porg from like Star Wars. So I do have it somewhere, I just don't know where.
He used to be like right there, like star of the show in the back.
He did used to be right there. I'm sure he's lurking somewhere. He's like having a look now in the background.
What's the forfeit if there isn't? If there there will be. I have no doubt in my mind that there will be, because they have to talk about what is coming.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like I said, at this point I don't have any expectation, but that doesn't mean that I don't want something. It doesn't mean that I don't believe they will, but I'm just kind of like, every time I have expectation, I'm bitterly disappointed. So yeah, that's kind of, but hopefully, I hope you're right, and I hope it's something that's worth us all kicking a fuss up over. I really, really do. You know,
I do too.
I guess we'll see.
All right, well, thank you for chatting with me. We will do this again. We've been trying to we pushed it back a week this week in hopes that we would get some kind of update to talk about. So I don't know. It'll either be, the next one will either be August 7th or August 14th, somewhere in there, depending on what happens and schedules and stuff like that. But
if we get like a huge update tomorrow, well, we'll be on it.
We'll be here again next week.
We'll be on it tomorrow. That's the thing. Like, I think with this show, it's kind of once a month. But if there is a lot of stuff to talk about, then we'll just pop another one in. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, before we go, tell everyone where they can find you, because that's wrong now.
Yeah, who's that? Sorry. Okay, so you can find me at Foggy Holly, which is FWOGGY, and then Holly, HOLLY, on Twitch, and I stream 4 times a week, and I do a mixture of like Animal Crossing New Leaf and Sims and Minecraft and just all sorts, really. And we're going to start playing Untitled Goose Game soon, which is going to be fun. And it's the same on Twitter and Instagram, and that's basically it. Like, that's where you find me the most.
Yes, and if you're not following Holly, you definitely should be. No, I'm not streaming later today. My son is actually sick. I was going to stream a little bit longer today, but I'm not going to. Aiden is sick, so I'm going to be streaming. I'll be streaming tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. But thank you guys for hanging out and watching Breaking Bells, and we will see you guys next time.
Next month. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.